Welcome to SCAD Libraries. Today we have a great database discovery series entry with Sarah Harper from Winmo. Winmo supports universities, academic institutions, and libraries so that they can gain an unparalleled view of the advertising landscape from top-line business information on 36,000 nationally advertised brands to specific contacts. A lot of our students and faculty use this to do market research as well as find company contacts. So I know this will be really useful. Today, we're joined by Sarah Harper, but before I introduce her, I'm going to share my screen and walk through how to actually get to Winmo through SCAD Libraries. So right now, I'm on the library homepage. There are a couple ways to get to Winmo from here. And the easiest way is to mouse over databases here, click Browse Databases by Title, and you can either search for Winmo up here or select W and scroll down to Winmo. There's a little ID badge here that just means that you sign in with your SCAD library credentials. So this is going to be your last name and your ID number. If you have any issues accessing Winmo, getting to the platform, that's a great time to contact the library for additional help. To do that, you can go back to the library homepage and select Ask a Librarian. And here you can find contact information for the libraries as well as answers to frequently asked questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and introduce our wonderful guest today, Sarah Harper. Sarah's a Georgia native who attended the University of Georgia and returned to Atlanta following graduation. So we've got another Georgia girl here, very close to our ACA campus. She's been with Winmo for 2.5 years and primarily works with academic, agency, and sponsorship clients. She's really looking forward to traveling and eating out again once things begin to open more. But I'm happy to have her today to tell us a little bit about Winmo, how you use it, and its potential applications for SCAD students and faculty. So whenever you're ready, Sarah, I'm going to open it up to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Virginia. I will go ahead and share my screen with you guys today. Like Virginia mentioned, this is going to be a great tool to utilize, whether you're doing market research or you're looking up specific contacts. We also have a vast creative library, which I'll touch on today. But before we dive in, I want to just be sure to kind of touch on the homepage here today. There's a couple of basic functionality pieces that are going to be important for you guys as you navigate the site. First and foremost, kind of tucked over here in the corner is going to be your main toolbar. You can always click the arrow here to kind of expand this out further so you can see it as you navigate the site. But the first thing you'll see once you log in is going to be this little 5-minute training video. If you are new to Winmo and you kind of want a quick rundown, I'd highly encourage you guys to watch this clip. Our client success manager, John, does a really, really good job of giving a 5-minute overview for our academic and library clients. So definitely encourage you to take a look at that. A couple other basic functionality pieces that you'll notice here. This green blue icon right here is our live chat. We're typically on 8:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in the site and need immediate assistance, definitely shoot us a note. If it's after hours and you need help, feel free to still submit a live chat, but please be sure to leave your personal email address just so that we can get back to you. Otherwise, it'll go to the default university library contact. So we'd encourage you guys to let us know who you are and what we can help with if it's outside of our typical working hours. And then up here at the top, these 3 little dots, if you click into my account, you guys can always reference my contact information here. So if you have any questions regarding your membership, how to use certain things, feel free to send me a note personally, and I'll be sure to get back with you guys and help you with whatever it is that I can. But as we kind of hop back into this main dashboard here, the first thing that I'm going to walk you guys through today is going to be a sample advertiser profile. So let's say that you guys come into the site and you have, a specific person that you're researching. you want insight on a certain brand, what you can do is you can come in here and type at the top of the page like you would into Google or Amazon. Just search for what it is that you're looking for. And then it is going to pop open with some most relevant results for you guys. And I am going to click into Dove here as a brand. And then once we get into the Dove profile, there's a few different things that you'll notice here. You'll see here's Dove, here's the industries that it falls within, here's the parent company for Dove. And then as you scroll down the page, there'll be a couple other key functionality pieces. One more thing to highlight, if you guys wanted a hard copy of this, you can print the PDF and kind of have a hard copy of the page that you're viewing. But once you start to scroll down the page, here's where you're going to get into those relevant contacts that Virginia mentioned earlier. So if you know that maybe Amy here could be, a good contact for you to reach out to, what you can do is you can click into her name here. You'll see that she works on Dove, Dove Body Wash, and Dove Men. You'll see her main phone number, a link to her email address. Any email that you guys see here is actually clickable. So if you click into it, whatever your default email is on your browser, will pull up a blank template, or you can actually copy and paste that email into your, Gmail, Outlook, Apple Mail, whatever it is that you use. But then we'll also provide a link to her LinkedIn, and then the crystal icon that you guys see here. What this is going to do is it's going to give you some personality insight for Amy. So if you are reaching out to her specifically, maybe for a project or for a job opportunity, whatever it may be, it'll give you some tips and tricks on how to gear your outreach. So it'll tell you things like she's likely to thrive in an unstructured environment. Share ideas and initiate collaboration. So maybe if you've done a project before that you think could be useful to her, be sure to send that to her. When you email her, use interesting graphics, write casually, know that she's motivated by innovation, interesting ideas. And then if you're selling to her, whether it is a project or you're looking for an internship or job, whatever it may be, just be sure to maintain excitement and high energy through the process. And be sure to ask some open-ended questions. But very creepy insights, very accurate insights. So I'd encourage you guys to take a look at the personality insights from Crystal. As you'll notice at the site, there will be little question marks that pop up. So if you ever want additional insight on that, feel free to click on that Learn More About Crystal Knows, and it'll take you into their website to kind of further explain some of that insight and how they get their methodology behind the insight that they provide. As you click back into the website here, we'll notice the brand contacts for Dove. If you click over to company contacts though, it's going to show you all of the Unilever contacts here. So maybe Dove isn't the one that you want to look up anymore and you want to click into Tresemme. You can click into that here and it's going to open up, the contacts we have for Tresemme. You also could come in here and narrow this down. So if you wanted to look up creative contacts, you could click creative. If you want to look at marketing, you can add those in here. So you can really pull in whatever contacts are going to be most relevant for you. We also will provide the relevant agency contacts for you here. So this is going to be who handles Dove over on the agency side of things. To show you guys what an agency profile looks like, I'll click into Mindshare, but you also could always access Mindshare directly by clicking or typing in Mindshare up here at the top. Now that we're in the Mindshare profile, you'll notice, again, we'll give you the address, the telephone number, etc. But we'll also get into the relevant agency contacts that we have at this location. We recognize that 199 people are not going to likely be important to you. So no, you can always break it out based off of a specific account that's going to be, the most interesting and relevant for you here. Last big thing on the agency profile. So once you scroll past the contacts here, you will notice we provide a list of their current client relationships and how they work with those agencies here. Anytime you see AOR notated, that just means it's an agency of record relationship. So I'd encourage you guys to take a look at those here. And then as we hop back over into Dove, now we'll get into some of the fun stuff. So you'll notice Kantar media mix here. You can always change the view of that media mix information. You also can click on any of the plus signs and blue text to expand this out further. As you scroll down the page, you'll notice the related brands over at Unilever. It typically will sort these in order of how much you're spending on those brands. So I'd encourage you to take a look at that if media spend is important to you. Just below this, we'll get into the agencies that Dove currently works with, how they work with those agencies. Below that, iSpot, this will be TV insights. So this will be any national ads that iSpot is currently running in the past 30 days. You can see top networks, top TV shows, as well as what those top creative spots look like. And you can click on any of these here, and you can actually watch that creative piece by just clicking play here. As we scroll down the page a bit further, Stat Social, this is going to show you a little bit of insight into who is interested in Dove from a social perspective. So you can see the income levels of those individuals, the gender, the age group, ethnicities. You can also see the top cities that those individuals live in, as well as the personality insights, interest, types of brands, and influencers that these people are also following on social media. So again, Stat Social is just telling us who's following Dove on social media. So it's a really good way to kind of get target insights on a brand. The last piece of the pie here, DRTV analytics. This is also TV insight, but it's going to be a little bit different than what I showed you guys earlier with the iSpot piece. This will be direct to consumer ads. These spots will go anywhere from 15 seconds to 5 minutes, which you'll see notated here over by the long format or short format. You can also see the top TV networks if they're highly concentrated. So it looks like this is a lot of entertainment channels. It'll say highly concentrated. Or if it's all over the place, it'll be kind of a wide disperse of TV networks where they're running. But again, an additional way to kind of find out some insight on how this particular brand is spending. So that's going to kind of be, in a nutshell, what a brand profile looks like. Again, you guys can find these by just typing up at the top whatever brand it is that you're looking for, and then the relevant results will pop up for you here. As we hop out of this profile, the next thing that I want to touch on with you guys is going to be contacts. So let's say that you don't have a specific advertiser in mind, but you know that you need all contacts that have an influencer title or a paid social title, whatever it may be. You can come to the advanced search over here, click into all contacts, and then you'll notice you have job function built out here. So it's going to pull in most of the important contacts for you. However, titles like influencer don't have their own section just yet. They're likely going to pull into something like social or marketing. So I'd encourage you to come in here and use job title and just type in what it is that you're looking for. And then you'll notice it will pull up any relevant, if I could spell influencer correctly, it'll pull up any relevant contacts that have influencer in that title. So be sure to use this contact section of the site here when you do have a specific type of contact you're looking for. The next thing I want to show you guys is going to be how to search for a certain type of brand. So let's say that you guys have, project-based work and you know that you need to look up clients that fall in a certain industry. You can run a brand level advanced search. There's a few ways you can break it out up here at the top. So if you are going to be looking up brands that are headquartered in a certain city or state, you can use that here. If you want to look up the city of Atlanta, it will pull in a 15-mile radius, so it captures the suburbs just a bit. If you want to see brands headquartered in Savannah, and you don't see Savannah listed out here, that's when you'd use the postal code feature here, and you can make this range as big or as small as you would like. As we click into industries, I'm going to use beverages as an example today, but know that you can select as many of these industries as you would like. It's also important to note that everything you see here actually opens up into subcategories. So if all of entertainment isn't important to you, but you do want to take a look at fine arts, you can select fine arts here, and it's going to eliminate movies or music from this list. So it's a good way to kind of look at just a certain part of the entertainment industry. Again, job function is who you want to speak to over at these particular types of brands. So you can select creative, marketing, digital, whatever is going to be most relevant for you. But again, if you need a certain type of contact, you can always use the job title function here and type in that specific content title or influencer title, whatever it may be. You can search for it here. Title rank is just what it sounds like. So if you know that you prefer to work with directors and up, you can always select director and up, and it's going to eliminate any contacts that we don't have that appropriate title rank as well as job function for. And it also is going to continue to narrow down the list of brands as you add in these additional fields. The social demographic piece that I showed you guys on the Dove profile, if you wanted to see other brands that also have a high female following, you could select female here and it's going to pull up any brands that fall within that criteria. We don't have this information for every brand in the site, just about 6,500, but it's a really good way to get demographic piece, especially if you are doing project-based work. Always interesting to see, who a brand has that interest from. DRTV Insights, that's that TV insight I showed you guys earlier. Again, it's direct to consumer ads. You can select any network that you would like here. Placements by TV network, national TV ads, but again, you can come in and select any networks if you want to see TV spenders that we have in the site. Company media spend, company revenue, you can select company specialty. So if you want to see things like sponsorship spenders or brands that have franchises, you can always select those here. And then down here under others, uses in-house creative or in-house media. Could certainly be a relevant filter for you guys if you wanted to see some brands who do stuff in-house from a creative perspective. Everything that you guys see here can actually be saved. So if you know you're going to be in the site a couple of different times, kind of working off of this particular project, you can save this search. I would encourage you to save it with your name just so that you can easily come back to it. But like you could say SH54 project or whatever it is that you'd like to name it. And then once you save the search, it lives on the left-hand side for you. Under your saved searches, you can see you guys have some existing searches. People have named it, which I always suggest, but you can come back in here and reference this list at any point in time. The beauty of it is that it saves the filters, not the list of brands. So if you come back into the site in a month and we've added more brands that meet this criteria or more contacts that meet your criteria, they'll pull into your list for you too. As we scroll down, let's say that you do need this specific list of brands you don't want to narrow down. What you can do is you can click brand options and say add all to key accounts list. Just say SH Target or whatever it is that you'd like to name it. And then that won't auto update. So it's going to just save the list of brands, not the list of filters. And then you can come back into the site at any point in time and reference this list that you've created here. Just below the list of brands that you guys see here, as you keep scrolling, here's where you'll see those relevant brand contacts. You can always come in here and take a look at, who pulls into this list. If Justin's going to be relevant for you, you can click into Justin's information here, get his contact info, or click into Azina here, and it's going to give you all of her information right here. So good way to kind of get that information. And again, you can copy and paste or click on it and it's going to pull up a blank email template for you here. The last thing I want to touch on from this section of the site, one way to filter down a step further, if you wanted to look specifically for water brands that fall within this list, what you can do is you can just type in water and it's going to narrow down to 9 brands. So it's going to take out any alcoholic brands, any soda brands, and just pull in those water brands that met the criteria that we put in above. Essentially what this did is this built out a customized list for you guys based off of the criteria that was most important to you. Again, I'd encourage you guys to get in here and play around. The more filters you put in and take out, you will generate different results. If you do ever want to look at this from an agency perspective, it would be the exact same thing. You would go to the advanced search and click into agencies here. The only key differences here is that you may notice you can break it out by discipline. So if you want to look up a certain type of agency, you can do that here. There will also be different job functions because it's a different type of organization. And then we also will have an agency holding. So if you want to look up independent agencies or big public group agencies, you're able to do that here. And then that is about it that I have for the advanced search. The last section that I want to show you guys before I open it up to questions is going to be the creative library. For those of you who are going to be coming in here and want to see some sample ads that have been aired in the past, what you can do is you can click into the creative library. And then from here, you'll see different ad campaigns that have launched throughout the years. You can come in here and search for a specific brand like Nike to see what pulls up. It's going to show you the brand, the agency who put it out, the type of media, the year that it was run. Of course, you can click into that ad here and watch what it looks like. But you also can come in here and you can search for different types of media. So if you want to see, case studies or web films, you can see that here. You also can search for a specific agency who's produced that, or type in a keyword and just see what's going on in the food sector. And it's going to pull up any relevant brands that fall under the food category.
I actually, while you're here in the Creative Library, I have a question for you, Sarah. Will you show us the Discover feature and tell us a little bit about how to use it?
Yeah, so what you can do is you can actually click over here into Discover. It's going to be very similar to Find Ads, but it's going to kind of just give you a rundown of some of the most recent ads that have been published here. So it's going to just be some that have been recently put out. You can click See More if you want to kind of get the full look at all of the most recent ads. You'll notice that all of these tabs that you see at the top will kind of siphon into each other. So if you scroll back up, it kind of changes you back over to Discover, but it all kind of takes you back to that same place. So if you wanted to see latest ad winners, the top ads in the world, you can see those here. You can just kind of continue to scroll through these. You can also see any case studies that have been recently published, any interviews, insights. It's all going to kind of be in this Discover page. And then you can click into those from here. So if you wanted to see more case studies, you'll notice it just switches this to say case studies.
When they were you were just showing the ads at the bottom. So this is international ads from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not just, they're different languages too.
Yeah, so you could click into, like, if we wanted to look up Brazil, for example, it's going to pull up any brands that come from Brazil, and then you can see, who handled that specific ad. You will notice that it will be some international brands. So like there's going to be Burger King in Brazil. They're going to, cater a little bit differently to the Brazilian audience versus the United States audience. So you can kind of always take a look at those here. But yeah, you should be able to narrow it down by the location.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome, Sarah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I know a lot of students and faculty will find this super useful. And I just want to remind anyone viewing this asynchronously, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out through the Winmo chat like Sarah showed you, or to reach out to SCAD Libraries. She's pulled up the little chat box there. That's perfect. And you can also chat with us at the library too if you need help with your account or anything else.